Hello everyone, it's Auditing America, and today we're doing an exclusive interview with Josh from Accountability for All about my illegal arrest by the Cranston Police Department in Rhode Island. Please share, like, and subscribe.
What's going on, guys? It's Josh from Accountability for All, and I'm here with something crazy, out of this world, bananas, huge announcement. We're here with the guy that has the answers to the questions that everybody's asking, and that guy is Anselmo from Auditing America. I know you've heard about him because he's got over 84,000 subscribers, and he's all over YouTube. He's stopping the tyrants, and today he's here to talk about just that, his groundbreaking, media-conquering arrest that just happened, and what the outcome of that was. So, Anselmo, thank you for taking this interview, and you're finally going to tell us what's been going on. So what happened when you went to that military base? You went to the National Guard military installation in Cranston. What happened? Tell us. We're waiting. We wanted to know.
Well, Josh, thank you so much for asking that question. That's a very important question. A lot of people have been asking. Well, as everyone knows, I was doing a First Amendment audit at the National Guard military installation in Cranston, Rhode Island, when I was illegally arrested, illegally detained, and illegally searched by the Cranston Police Department on a public sidewalk.
So why did they show up? If you're on a public sidewalk practicing your constitutionally protected activity under the First Amendment, why did the police show up and harass you in the first place?
Well, they said I was a suspicious person videotaping a military installation. I tried to explain to them that being suspicious is not a crime. I was just videotaping a public building from a public sidewalk. And she demanded ID. She wanted my ID at all cost. And within seconds, she had hands on, illegally searching me. And then, as everyone knows, I was framed with disorderly conduct and obstruction of justice.
Those are big words, because what the police do is when you don't adhere to their tyrannical behavior, they like to use these big words like disorderly conduct, suspicion, right? They like to escalate the problem. So in this case, you're practicing your First Amendment right, and they try and find an excuse to escalate the situation. They go hands on with you, and they have no excuse to ask for an ID because they have no reasonable suspicion of a crime. So what happened? You get arrested? You go to court? Did they offer you a plea deal or anything? What happened?
Well, that day, they pretty much kidnapped me, threw me in the back of a cop car, took me to the jail, and I had to bond out for an illegal arrest. It was like a nightmare. I was in there knowing that I didn't do anything wrong, but exercised my constitutional rights. And, it's been months. It's been dragging and dragging and dragging until I finally went to court. And they made me a plea offer where they offered no filing.
So a no file, what does that mean? What is a no file?
Well, it's pretty much a get out of jail free card, They said
so
that
for 1 year, right? For 1 year, you just walk out of the jail, and for 1 year, as long as you behave and don't commit any crimes within that period of time, you're off scot-free, end of problem. You didn't take it, or did you take that plea offer?
I did not take that offer because I've always stand with the truth. And the truth is that I didn't do anything wrong. So there was no way that I can make that type of deal with the government.
So you're in jail. You're going through all these issues. And you must have problems supporting your family. How did they deal with this?
Well, fortunately, I bonded out right away that same day. And I got to go home. But this dragged for a long time, and they kept on pushing my court dates, and unfortunately, it has affected my family, yes.
Wait, so you keep talking about your family, and I'm confused because I'm reading all the haters' comments on your page, and they're telling me that you live at home in mom's basement and you're eating Hot Pockets. What do you say to that?
Well, haters are going to hate. I thank them so much for exercising the First Amendment right, even though they're wrong, because they don't know anything about me. So I do have a family. I do. I have 4 daughters that I support, and a family that cares about me, and I care about them. So thank God I got to go home that day when they arrested me at the National Guard.
So you've got your own place, you got your own car, you're doing all these things for your family, and I think it's beautiful what you said, because you said, you know what, basically, I may disagree with what these haters have to say, but I love that they're free to say it, and I respect the fact that they're using their First Amendment protected activity, and they're saying it, and you got a family. Which leads me into, another question. How did this deal work out? What wound up happening at the end of this? Did you didn't take the no file? So what happens next? What deal did you take?
Okay, well, as you guys know, I'm a First Amendment auditor. I have a pretty decent amount of subscribers on my channel. Now we are at 84,000 subscribers. Thank you guys all for being part of this. And well, I continue the fight for freedom even though I was out on bail. And people already know I've gotten arrested 2 more times doing First Amendment audit. I've been framed with disorderly conduct charges over and over, even though I've never been disorderly. I've never committed a crime, and they pretty much set me up every single time.
And this is
And
all on video. All these audits you're doing are on video. So I think it's funny that before these incidences, you're not in trouble. After these incidences, you've remained out of trouble. But once this first incident happens, these guys don't like the fact that you're calling them on what they do, and they're jumping all on top of you, trying to get as many charges as they can to silence you. And you're not being silenced, and that's something that I think people have to respect. So at the end of this, you didn't take no file. What was the deal that you took? Was it a deal where you found guilty at trial, or did you accept a plea?
okay, well, like I said, while I was waiting for this to go to trial, I got arrested 2 more times doing First Amendment audits, which violated my bail conditions on that case. So they pretty much were holding me at the adult correctional institution without a release date, and it was affecting me and my family because, like I said, I have family that waits for me at home. So I ended up taking a guilty plea on that case.
So when it came to you and they said, listen, Anselmo, listen, Auditing America, we're going to offer you, we're going to let you out of here. No problems, no questions. Stay out of trouble for a year, and there's no issues. You didn't take it. And you didn't take it because, you weren't guilty. You're not going to admit to something you didn't do. So then they start putting pressure on your family, and they force you into taking a deal so you can continue to support the family you've been supporting. Is that what happened?
Yeah, they were holding me at the correctional institution for over a week, and like I said, I have a family to support. I have to get back home, and the only way that I could get out of jail was taking a guilty plea. And I
And
know a lot of yes. Go ahead.
what was involved in that guilty plea? What did you have to agree to?
Well, the court sentenced me to a 1 year of misdemeanor probation for disorderly conduct and obstruction of justice. And they also sentenced me to 100 hours of community service, which is pretty much a slap in the face to me because that's what we do. We do a service for our community.
Wow, that's really pretty powerful. So it seems to me that when the pressure was on you and it was just you involved, you said, no, I'm innocent. I stand by my innocence. But when it came to the point where they're holding you with these other charges and this bail revocation, you had to go home because you have to continue to support your family. So you did that for them, which leads me to my next question. Now, how is life now? How has this all changed you? Like, tell us about where you're from, why you do this, and how this experience has changed your view of America and the justice system.
Well, I'm Puerto Rican. I was born in Puerto Rico. My parents moved to Florida when I was 12. So I was raised in Orlando for most of my life. And I grew up there. My daughters were born there. And yeah, it's changed It's changed me a lot the way I see the judicial system, because I've always been a strong believer that, if you're innocent of something that you're being accused of, the truth will come out. The truth will save you, because I had faith that when you go to court and you go to a trial, if you're innocent, the truth is that you're gonna be proven not guilty. You're gonna prove your innocence. But
So you were waiting for your day in court, and it seems like, for all intents and purposes, waiting for this day in court, hoping that the judicial system will stand by you because you stand by it, you're actually robbed of your day in court, because your choices are, let my family go to the streets and be hungry, or take this charge, and they robbed you of your day in court. And you did that so you could take care of your family and your beautiful little girls. Which leads me to my next question. How has this changed your family and your kids? What do they think about all this, and how has it affected them?
well, all my family can't believe it. They are, they were strong believers that, that the truth comes out at court. But I have proof that it doesn't. It doesn't. They find innocent people guilty more
And what do your
often than
kids
you would
think?
think.
Has it changed your kids at all? Like your little girls? Like, you obviously, as an auditor, you're bringing them up, making them aware of the Constitution. You're making them aware of the justice system. You're probably instilling in them these values that the justice system is something that they can believe in and be proud of and be hopeful with. Has it changed their views, even as children, of the justice system?
Well, my kids don't know much because they're little, but they're gonna grow up one day, and the last thing that I want for them is to be afraid of the judicial system that we have in our country. So that worries me a lot.
So we've covered a lot of ground here. You're going out, you're auditing, right? You're doing a service to the community. You're arrested at this military installation for practicing a First Amendment protected activity. You're at a public sidewalk. You can't trespass what your eyes can see. You don't comply to give them ID because you don't need to. You get arrested. You go to trial. Before trial, they offer you a deal. And you say, I'm not going to take this deal because I'm innocent. Then they're holding you without bond on these other charges that they trump up to try and silence you. And it gets to the point where your family can't survive without you. So you take this deal to get back home to your kids because you don't live in mom's basement. And now not only are you upset, and is your, love for the justice system been tainted, but now they're going to grow up wondering if, they should be in fear of the justice system that they've been taught is going to protect them. And all this stuff has happened. It's a terrible experience. So where do you go from here? What's next for Auditing America? What's next for Anselmo? And what's the next big step here?
Well, we're gonna continue the fight for freedom. I say if they want me to stop exercising my constitutional rights, they're gonna have to give me life in prison.
And they might as well take your life, because if they take your freedom, they've taken your life.
That's right. I would never act in a violent way. I would never behave like that. Yeah, I might say some things that some people won't like, but that's what the First Amendment's all about: freedom of speech, freedom of the press. We all have the right to say whatever we want, and everyone's entitled to an opinion. So everyone has to respect what my opinion is.
So this is beautiful what you have to tell us. And I just want you to let people know where they can go to find you, what they have to do to get involved, because we're a community, right? We have to do this together. We just said it's we the people, right? It's us, it's we together. So everyone needs to get involved and do their part and fight for their rights, because if you don't use them, you lose them. These are inalienable truths that you fight for every single day. So to learn more about what you do, to get more involved, and if it's just to be slightly educated, more entertained, how do they find you and where do they go?
You can go to Auditing America on YouTube, subscribe to my channel. Also, subscribe to Joe Orga from Breaking the Flaw. And of course, in your channel, Accountability for All, which is, I want to thank you so much as well for giving me the opportunity to work with you and to be part of the team. And you're very talented, and I see your channel with a lot of future as well.
Well, I got to thank you, and I want to, I wasn't going to bring this up, and I need to, I think, because everyone should know how important it is what Anselmo's doing. Because I got on YouTube a little less than a year ago, just as a guest, just as a member. And the first channel I ever subscribed to, and this is the truth, was Auditing America. I wasn't aware of my rights, okay? I gave ID. I answered questions when they were asked, and I submitted to the oppression. And then I watched that first video, okay? And it changed my life forever. It gave me access to knowledge that I wasn't aware of. It gave me access to rights that I was not aware of. And it gave me access to freedoms and a cause to believe it. And you know what? One day, because of this information, I knew nothing. I was on the side of the road, and I felt like I was being oppressed. And I hit that record button because I felt like I was under oppression, and I was under the tread of tyranny. And because of the information that I learned and gathered from Auditing America and Joel Orga's Breaking the Flaw, I sent that tyrant packing. And for the first time in my life, I was able to look into a lens and say, walk of shame. And it's not going to be the last, because I posted that link on Auditing America's comment section, and I never thought I would hear back. And I did hear back. And he called me. He gave me great input on the video. He gave me instructions on what I could do next. And I thought I was lucky to even hear from him. But he reaches out to me. And then he invites me along with him. And he helps me hone my craft. And now I'm very lucky, because this is the best friendship someone could have. Because not only do I learn my rights, but I learned that I got a great friend. And I'm a part of a great team. And you thanking me is an injustice to yourself, because it is I that should be thanking you. And it's the people that should be thanking you. So you can go to Accountability for All on your YouTube search engine, but let's go where this movement in the Rhode Island area really started, because we're not talking about a specific location. We're Auditing America. So let's do this together. Go to his page. Make sure you click, share, like, and subscribe, and you smash that button so hard the screen breaks. And that's the reason that I stopped you today. Make sure you click his page now and learn about your freedoms. Thank you so much, Anselmo.
Thank you, Josh. Guys, make sure you follow Donnie's photos on Instagram. The information is on the description. And thank you for watching. Guys, thank you so much for watching. And we're going to continue the fight for freedom here at Auditing America. Please share, like, and subscribe.